Fake speedruns. Whether you like it or not, you've probably seen your fair share of YouTube videos regarding them. In this video, I'm going to take you on a journey into the depths and go over some absolutely insane fake Minecraft speedruns and the stories surrounding them. In the next 30 or so minutes, you're going to see everything from the most infamous cheating scandals to a super unknown case of a top runner faking a world record. I feel like it goes without saying, but don't fake Minecraft speedruns, because similar to almost every entry on this iceberg, you're just going to look like an idiot. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with how these videos work, it's going to start off with well-known topics, and as we get deeper in the iceberg, I'm going to discuss more and more obscure cases. First though, my goal is to gain an indefinite amount of subscribers within an allotted time period, so subscribe not because you want to, just do it out of pity. That being said, without further ado, I present to you the fake Minecraft speedrun iceberg. If you've been in and around speedrunning on YouTube, you've probably seen your fair share of the funniest fake speedruns ever. Oh my god, look at this golden diamond block structure and they always have this kind of text. Well, those videos tend to do quite well, but they don't really show fake speedruns. Rather, the videos are made solely for comedic purposes. Some trends you'll notice from watching them are that they feature videos that are very obviously made as jokes and for no reason in particular are always exactly 8 minutes long. As it pertains to this iceberg, there's not really much to talk about besides the fact that they're extremely popular on YouTube. That brings me to the most famous and infamous case of faking a Minecraft speedrun, the dream cheating situation. If you were on the internet from late 2020 to mid 2021, you've probably heard a thing or two about it. On October 16th, 2020, speedrunner Minecraft posted a tweet that raised suspicion regarding Dream's piglin trades, specifically the Ender Pearl trade rates. Basically, over the course of 6 streams, he got Ender Pearls 15.41% of the time that he traded gold to a piglin. The chance of getting pearls from a piglin trade is 4.73%, so that discovery raised some eyebrows. The reason that this became a huge ordeal is because Dream had a verified 5th place time on the leaderboards that took place during those streams. The first video made regarding this was on October 19th from Shell Guy, and it really stirred the pot. I mean, Forsen even reacted to it on stream. Anyways, let's jump forward to December 11th, 2020, because that's when the official moderator analysis was released to the world. With a 14-minute video and a 29-page report, they calculated the odds of Dream getting his Ender Pearl trade rates and Blaze Rod drop rates to be 1 in 7.5 trillion and concluded by saying that there was no legitimate way that Dream did that. That, however, wouldn't deter him from posting a response video 11 days later in which he hired an astrophysicist to release a 19-page report that would prove he in fact didn't fake his speedruns. This report, however, would get torn apart by Reddit, and the astrophysicist's credibility would be brought into question due to the website that the paper was linked to and the fact that they chose to remain anonymous. 8 days later, on December 30th, the mod team released a rebuttal that basically went thanks but no thanks, and they kept their original conclusion. It wouldn't be until late May of 2021 that we would get an update to this story, because that's when Dream got in the bathtub at 4 AM to write a paste bin. Basically, he had a realization that he was accidentally using a mod that altered the rates during the 6 runs in question. While many commentary channels had their doubts, on June 30th, Carl Jobs released an hour and 15-minute video going over the entire story from start to finish. Basically, he talked to Dream, the astrophysicist, the mod developer, and the leaderboard mods to formulate a well-thought-out analysis of the situation. He found that the astrophysicist was real, but was rushed and most likely didn't know anything about Minecraft, which would explain the discrepancies in Dream's response. The shady website was basically used for tax purposes, the developer of the mod never told Dream that it improved the Pearl and Blaze rates, and much more stuff. The release of Carl Jobs' video is what I would call the end of the Dream cheating scandal, because it basically threw everything out on the table and had people form their own conclusions. Up next, yes, it's Drem, the first massive cheating scandal in Minecraft speedrunning. On July 9th, 2020, YouTuber Zyphon released a video titled "This Minecraft Speedrunner Cheated and Got Exposed. Drem Fake World Record, a Critical Analysis." This video currently has 11.5 million views. Basically, Drem spliced a 1.16 random seed glitchless world record run, and it even got the attention of Dream, who left a comment stating multiple reasons why the run was suspicious. The original video was deleted, but fortunately there are re-uploads, so I'll go through it. First of all, notice how he doesn't look around whatsoever. Now notice how he managed to find a shipwreck by beelining in some random direction. Next, he chose to go to the village right behind the ruined portal he got earlier, which he literally looked at for the first time a full minute and a half into the run. At the village, we can immediately see that he isn't exactly a crafting connoisseur, but aside from that, he used a fletching table to get emeralds for bow and arrows, and enter the nether from a lava pool near his spawn. Once in the nether, he didn't look around whatsoever, yet still managed to walk right up to the blaze spawner. After getting his rods and pearls, Drem, being the directional mastermind that he is, disregarded the fact that he had just been wandering around in the nether for multiple minutes and knew to dig through this wall in order to get back to his portal, all without checking his coordinates. Very impressive indeed. In the overworld, he caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of his eye that told him the stronghold would be in this particular direction. When he threw his first eye, he found out that the direction he had been running in for 10 seconds was correct. A miracle. Drem is also a pioneer of 2-eye triangulation, and after getting the exact precise location of the stronghold by throwing the eyes while moving, he dug down directly into the portal room. Crazy, considering the fact that eyes don't even point toward the portal room, they point toward the starter staircase. Once in the end, he fought the dragon valiantly and finished the run with a final time of 19:19. His reaction was indeed very real.
No way!
Anyways, you get the point. The run is very poorly faked, and the cherry on top is that the loading screen in the beginning completely confirmed the presence of a splice. Basically, whenever you load up Drem's seed, the loading screen will always begin in the bottom left corner, and in this run, the loading screen began in the center. When Zyphon brought up this detail in his video, many people misinterpreted it as any loading screen not beginning in the left corner proves the run is fake. He cleared this up pretty quickly, but we can still see the consequences of this on Nice Twice's world record video. Anyways, due to the sheer popularity of this exposing video, Drem's YouTube channel started to get quite a lot of attention, albeit not exactly the positive kind. Eventually, the hate and dislike bombs became too much, and he either deleted the channel or changed the name. To be honest, I can't really be bothered to find out, but that concludes that. Up first in the second level down is one of the most insane cheating scandals in Minecraft speedrunning, aka the Flowbee situation. Flowbee was a top Minecraft speedrunner who specifically focused on the 1.16 RSG category, and he had been getting top times left and right. Soon though, he posted a run that would raise some eyebrows, to say the least. Upon loading into the world, he beelined a shipwreck and got iron, and after gathering wood, he used all of it to craft tools, leaving none for flint and steel. He did see a ruined portal in the distance, so perhaps he was banking on getting a light from the chest, but in that case, why craft an iron shovel if he wasn't gonna get flint? Anyways, upon opening the ruined portal chest, he got a looting 2 sword and flint and steel, and entered the nether with a nearby magma ravine at 210. Once he was in, he located a bastion and went in that direction without even looking around. For all he knew, another fortress could be anywhere, so this behavior was highly abnormal for a top runner. When he got to the bastion, the routing wasn't anything out of the ordinary, but he was able to get 20 obsidian, enabling him to double travel. Soon, he was able to leave in search of a fortress at 420, nice, but yet again he went in a direction while hardly looking around, and what do you know, the exact path he followed just happened to contain a fortress. Now perhaps the most damning piece of evidence lay here, because once on the fortress, instead of looking toward this left branch containing most of the fortress, he went to a completely concealed blaze spawner. More on that in a bit, because first he had to kill some blazes, and with looting it only took 3 of them to get 6 rods. Looking at his coordinates, he saw that he was in the stronghold ring, so building a portal where he was after killing the last blaze made sense, but instead he opted to go on the fortress. While we don't know exactly why he did this, it's widely believed that it was a result of wanting to stick to his pre-routed path. At 5:30, he exited the nether and threw some eyes to gauge the distance of the stronghold. The angle change was 0.6, indicating that it was a ways away. At this distance from the stronghold, a difference of just 0.1 degrees meant hundreds of blocks traveled, so there was inherently a margin of error. When he was back in the nether, he made his way to the ideal exiting location, but didn't hold the angle whatsoever, making it even less likely than it already was that he was gonna get close. Conveniently though, the stronghold was ocean exposed right next to his portal. His routing was slightly questionable because instead of going to the starter staircase, he spotted the portal room for about 7 frames and turned toward it. Now this run would have entered the end on world record pace if he had enough eyes to finish the portal, but he didn't, so the run died right there. Before I move on to more evidence, yes, the run that got him exposed wasn't even completed. Anyways, remember when I said his fortress routing was probably the most damning evidence that this was done on a set seed? Well, if he had made the logical decision of looking left, he would have seen a blaze spawner, and if he left the nether from that blaze spawner, it would have pointed him to a different non-ocean exposed stronghold. Essentially, with his willful ignorance of the fortress layout, he was able to save multiple minutes. On top of that, when asked why he didn't show the making of the world, he responded that he was using a reset mod, except for the fact that he definitely wasn't because this thing wasn't there when he paused. So, with so much evidence pointing to this run being on a set seed, much to your surprise, when the mods reviewed the logs, it was, drumroll please, confirmed to be done on a set seed. Now raises the real question, why would he fake an incomplete run? Well, grab some popcorn. He was in a call with Crystal, a leaderboard moderator who was getting some toast while this happened, and rolled the seed from the run I just broke down. Again, let me emphasize that Crystal is a leaderboard moderator. The first time he played the seed, he panicked because of how good it was and threw the run. When Crystal returned, he told her about the seed, but not that he threw the run, opting instead to say that he wasn't able to enter the end due to a lack of pearls. Why would he lie about this, you might ask? Well, he had a bit of a crush on Crystal and didn't want her to think less of him for doing such shameful acts as getting nervous on good pace. Quote, "I didn't want to be seen as nothing." Well, this backfired a bit when Crystal asked if he would upload the run. I'll let you take a wild guess as to what he responded with. So basically, in an attempt to impress a leaderboard moderator, he faked a speedrun. This, however, isn't where the story ends, because once word got out that he faked it, his other top runs started to get some attention. Over the past few months, Flowbee had been absolutely shitting out top times left and right, and suspicious activity was quickly found in almost every single one of them. After denying that the other runs were fake, Flowbee eventually caved in and admitted to everything, yet still claimed his 11:58 time was real. Interpret that as you may, but that concludes what is easily one of Minecraft speedrunning's craziest cheating scandals. Now it's time for the funniest cheating scandal. BigTony, which isn't his actual name, was doing some Minecraft speedruns and just happened to stumble upon the world record. With no prior runs, this, I think that's Thai or something, this possibly Thai prodigy loaded into a particularly good seed. The spawn was in a village, and after grabbing a blacksmith chest containing 12 obsidian and 5 iron, he tried his best to do the fast crafting, and after spending 5 seconds to make an iron axe and hoe, it was immediately clear that BigTony had elite mechanics. Now, why would BigTony use all of his iron to craft that, you just said to your monitor? Well, every good speedrunner knows that there's always a second blacksmith house containing 7 iron. After struggling to craft a boat, he went to a nearby ruined portal containing a looting sword, more obby, and flint and steel. With picture-perfect precision, he placed obsidian to complete the portal and entered the nether at 120, not bad whatsoever. After spending about 25 seconds in the settings menu, he was not only able to change his render distance to 17, but also back down to where it originally was. Now, something you need to learn about this guy is that BigTony don't need no E counter, because after walking forward for a bit, he found a treasure bastion. Upon approaching it, he lowered his render distance to 10 and performed a meta-defining settings change, turning his graphics from fast to fancy prior to entering the bastion. Once BigTony was in the bastion, he jumped on the gold, crafted an iron pickaxe, and with that gold block in his inventory, he crafted, come on, you got this, just move the ingot. As I was saying, he crafted a gold helmet and pickaxe. After that, he went to the stairs and surprisingly didn't totally fuck up the route, getting all necessary items at around 410. Seeing how BigTony used his echolocation powers to find a bastion, it would only make sense for him to use it on the fortress as well, and pretty soon it was located. He chose to drop right on the blaze spawner and managed to save himself from taking a lot of fall damage with the pearl, only for the blazes to melee him right after. While running from wither skeletons, he placed a boat on the ground, which didn't go quite as intended. Once they were taken care of, BigTony killed 5 blazes, getting 8 rods just in case the portal was a -4 eye. After traveling to the totally not predetermined nether exit location, he left the nether at 7:36 and found himself in the portal room. With lightning fast crafting, BigTony made his eyes of ender and entered the end at 7:47. When the 1 cycle was set up, he waited, and when the dragon perched, BigTony hit a super clean 7-bed 1 cycle, finishing the run with a final time of 9:04, beating Brentilda by 32 seconds. Jokes aside, this is definitely a less serious one, and it's on this tier because a ton of attention was brought to just how ridiculous it is when The Weekly Thing made a video about it. To start off the lesser known cases, in late August of 2020, a Polish speedrunner named Dizz got a time of 18:59 in version 1.16, which was the first ever sub 19. The world spawn had a village nearby, which he used to get basic resources. Soon after leaving, he stumbled upon a ruined portal that was 1 obsidian block from completion. In the chest, there were 2 obsidian blocks, flint and steel, a golden apple, and a gold sword with the looting enchantment. After entering the nether at 5 minutes, he almost immediately spotted a fortress, and after locating the spawner, his blaze drop rates were 7 for 6. After about a minute of trading with a nearby piglin, he had his pearls and was out of the nether at 9:45. At 15 minutes, his eye throw went straight down, and a minute and a half later, he was in the end. With 8 beds to explode, he 1-cycled the dragon and finished the run in 18:59. The world record at the time was 19:41, so this was supposedly a record by 42 seconds, and this time was verified on the leaderboards shortly after. One slight issue. When asked for the original footage, Dizz was unable to provide it, and on September 9th, he tweeted that the mods unverified/rejected the run, but didn't call it fake. The official reason given by the mods read insufficient proof of completion. Previous footage/video edits were mysteriously deleted. Without this proof, the run is assumed to be invalid. The story doesn't quite end there, because another reason the run was suspicious is because one of the names deeper in this iceberg was friends with him, but I'll talk more about that when we get there. To clarify, nothing suspicious was found in the run itself. Rather, the circumstances around it put a big fat question mark on the legitimacy of this time. Was the run fake or real? We will probably never know. To this day, this remains as one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in Minecraft speedrunning. What we do know is that a month later, there was a cheating scandal that dwarfed the one for Dizz. I'm talking about Corbanos' world record, or in other words, the biggest time improvement in 1.16 random seed glitchless world record history. On September 29th, 2020, Corbanos got a time of 14 minutes and 56 seconds with a run that was seen as near perfection at the time. He got a sub 4 minute nether entry right on top of the fortress and 2 pearl trades and 5 gold ingots. He was out of the nether at 7:30 and his overworld travel was almost full ocean with an ocean exposed stronghold. Unfortunately, the portal room wasn't exposed, but he still entered the end sub 13 minutes. With a 2-minute perch, he killed the dragon in 6 beds and shattered the world record by 2.5 minutes. At the time, Corbanos held the versions 1.9 to 1.15 world record, so his skill wasn't the thing in question. What was, however, in question was the world creation time. Right after this run, Corbanos went into various Twitch chats and talked about what he had just done at around 12 PM EST. At around the same time, he uploaded the world files to Google Drive for anyone to see. Dream, who lives in the same time zone as Corbanos, downloaded the files and found that the world creation time said 9:31 AM EST, 3 hours earlier than Corbanos led people to believe. With the discrepancy noted, he brought this information to the mod team to investigate. Sometime later, this happened.
The mods just told me I faked it. Oh my god. They said they would give me a rundown after my stream. I think I'm gonna end my stream.
A short time after, Corbanos was banned from the leaderboards, his world record rejected, and the other world record removed. So that's it, right? Except for the fact that a few hours later, he was unbanned and both of his records took their places on the leaderboards. So what could Corbanos have shown the mods which would prove his innocence beyond a reasonable doubt? Well, he showed the world files on his PC, which said that the world was created at 12:31 EST. Basically, Google is based in California, so when you download something from Drive, it will automatically switch the file creation time to the West Coast time zone. Anyways, the irony here is that because the mods falsely banned Corbanos, they spent extra time making sure the Dream investigation was sound, so they wouldn't make the same mistake twice. Up next, on April 13th, 2021, a player named Minsky shocked the Minecraft speedrunning community with an absolutely insane time. With a 4-minute nether entry, he was able to locate a nearby bastion, route it, and get the required resources to leave. Soon after, he found a fortress, and a combination of good blaze rod drop rates and many blaze spawns enabled him to leave the nether at 8:30. After following the path of the eye, he quickly stumbled upon an ocean exposed portal room and entered the end sub 10 minutes. A short time later, the dragon perched and he finished the run with a time of 11 minutes and 1 second. If verified, it would be a new Minecraft 1.16 RSG world record, and this run also didn't use F3, which is insanely useful in this category. Nothing suspicious was found in the run itself, but nobody knew who Minsky was prior to it. He wasn't in the official Discord server and he had no prior submitted runs. In fact, he created a speedrun.com account for submitting the world record. On top of that, his previous personal best was 26 minutes, but it's possible that he could have just been resetting for a good time. Eventually, when tasked with verifying the run, the mod team rejected it on the basis that there wasn't enough evidence to verify it. Although there are certainly less question marks around its legitimacy compared to Dizz, this story remains without a conclusion. I should however point out that Minsky didn't just submit the run, then up and ghost the community. Recently, he got a run where he left the nether at 5:52, easily world record pace, and another one where he entered the end at 9:07. Starting off the 4th level down, taking place in early September of 2020, we have Kieran. Remember when I said that one of the reasons Dizz's run was suspicious is because one of his friends faked a world record? Well, Kieran is that friend, and this is the run in question. Upon loading into the world, he had some extremely weird movement until he stumbled upon a village. If you thought that was bad, just wait till you see his crafting speed. Hey, at least he knows how to shift click. After killing the iron golem and crafting a bucket and flint and steel, he located a lava pool and used a more difficult and significantly slower method of building a nether portal? Yeah, okay, at least I can insert a funny joke because he entered the nether at 4:20, so thanks for that, Kieran. Immediately, he saw nether fortress and got nether gold ore for piglin trades, and since this run took place before bastion strats were widely implemented, this makes sense. What doesn't make sense, however, is him not killing this stray blaze. My assumption would be that he was too focused on his pre-scouted path to didn't bother with it, and a short time later he located a blaze spawner. Upon entry back into the overworld, he showed off more of his lightning fast crafting and threw an eye of ender to know where the stronghold was, and what do you know, a tiny bit of it was exposed in the ocean. Upon going through this door, he had a really tough choice to make: fight the zombie and go through the iron door, or go see what's down the other path. Of course, Kieran chose to fight the zombie, and as luck would have it, the portal room was there. In the end, he performed what is probably the saddest pro throw I've ever seen and set up the 1 cycle. With 7 beds, he got the dragon down to super low health, and after struggling to find where to hit it, he eventually located the head and killed it, finishing the run in 1824, beating the world record by over a minute. Now, as blatantly fake as this run is, the immediate community reaction was that it was real and there was a new world record. That is, until the mods had something to say about it. Quote, "I wouldn't describe it as there's hope it's legit." Basically, Kieran sent a screenshot of his Vegas project to show it wasn't spliced, deleted the screenshot after one of the mods saved it, then sent the video, which was different to the screenshot. That and the world files were modified, making this a pretty open and shut case. Anyways, Kieran was soon banned from the leaderboards. Now perhaps you can argue that Kieran's run simply wasn't legendary enough to be a real record. That brings me to Speedrun Legend, my absolute favorite one on this iceberg, because he offered some amazing commentary to go along with his run. In the video prior to actually playing the run, he felt the need to explain why he didn't immediately post it.
The reason why I didn't post the video immediately after I did the world record is because I want this to be an actual channel with actual consistent uploads, so I have a bunch of videos on deck that I'm ready to post.
With that very important information out of the way, he loaded into the world and went to a nearby village. If you thought Kieran's crafting was bad, just look at this. In one fell swoop, he scattered sticks all over his inventory and incorrectly crafted a wooden pickaxe. Once that was sorted, he got resources from the rest of the village, and after killing the iron golem, he felt the need to explain why it dropped 5 iron, the maximum amount.
I got 5 iron from the iron golem, which is pretty normal for me. I am a very fortunate person when it comes to these type of things. Whether there's piglin trades or iron golem drops or lava pools, I'm normally pretty fortunate with that, so I managed to find those pretty easily.
Great, now that we know he's a very fortunate person, I've set my expectations sky high for the rest of the run. That good fortune immediately came into play when he located a nearby lava pool. Upon entry into the nether, he quickly spotted a fortress, and with his genetically good RNG, went 7 for 7 on blaze rod drop rates. Want to guess how much gold it took for him to get 12 pearls? 4, and he was out of the nether at 7 minutes. Thankfully, soon after he threw his first eye, Speedrun Legend explained where strongholds generate.
Strongholds, if you don't know, tend normally to be from like 1,500 below to 2,000 above.
Whatever the fuck that means, but at least he clarified his stance on stronghold generation a short time later.
So I'm keeping mind of my X, Y, and Z coordinates to see, if I'm near the fortress. Right here, I'm making my way to the end fortress at 10:29. Now this is very good time. This fortress was actually really close actually.
Now prior to that, I didn't know if he was on good pace or not, so I'm overjoyed that he let us know when he was very close to the end fortress. When his eye turned around, he performed triangulation that only a true Speedrun Legend could do, jumping down a nearby cave and stumbling upon the end fortress. His routing was perfect. I mean, I didn't expect anything less, and he entered the end at 12 minutes. In case you didn't already know, Speedrun Legend is just naturally lucky, and that also carried over to the end fight because the dragon perched super quickly. With 7 beds, he killed the dragon and finished the most legendary Minecraft speedrun in 13 minutes and 45 seconds. Now, you may wonder why his commentary was kinda scuffed, and fortunately he gave us the answer.
I just wanted to apologize for my commentating on the speedrun. I was just so nervous.
You know, nerves do play a major factor when talking over a run, especially if it's a world record. I can totally relate. Anyways, if you haven't already guessed, this run is blatantly fake, but that wasn't even the reason it got rejected, rather he was using an illegal texture pack. Yeah, that's right, at the end of the day, it was the ugly ass texture pack that got this run rejected. Although Speedrun Legend never officially got the world record, and his YouTube channel unfortunately never took off, the meme continues to live on. Ah, here we are at the very bottom of the iceberg. All of the fake speedruns in this tier are very obscure and pretty unknown to anyone outside of the Minecraft speedrun community. Regardless, there are still some pretty interesting cases, and the first one of these I'm going to discuss is Lomix Run. This took place on May 27th, 2021, and features this French runner supposedly getting a time that would have put him in the top 8. He spawned near a shipwreck, and after getting iron, he found a rune portal with a chest containing a looting 3 sword. Not seeing any nether entries nearby, Lomix decided to dig down in hopes of lava, and what do you know, there just happened to be a magma ravine right there. At 2:45 he was in the nether, and after using his E-counter to locate a bastion, he headed over to it and on the path ran into a fortress. Once the spawner was located, he proceeded to do an incredibly slow blaze fight, even forgetting to kill one of them with the looting sword, leading to him having to wait for another cycle of spawns. When the last blaze was killed, Lomix went to the bastion, which turned out to be a treasure, and routed it, getting all required piglin trades a short time later. At around 7:30 he was in the overworld, and after doing a distance estimation by throwing an eye, going to the side and throwing another one, he quickly discovered that he was insanely close to the stronghold. Less than 30 seconds after throwing the first eye, he started digging down, and with some mediocre stronghold navigation, was in the end at 9:30. After setting up the one cycle, he awaited the perch, and when it happened, landed a 6-bed one cycle, finishing the run in 12:13. So now that you've seen the run, time for me to tell you about the ever so slight caveat. Upon creating the world, he supposedly fell asleep and picked up the run 11 hours later. I'm being dead serious. If you look at the speedrun.com submission, there is an 11-hour recording link to it. While the sleep story probably has some truth to it, this run is almost certainly pre-scouted. The running theory is that he found the seed, discovered that it was absolutely insane, loaded up and scouted on another Minecraft instance, went to sleep, then played the run when he woke up. In fact, looking at his stats sheet shows us a bit of a trend that further backs up this theory. Out of the last 1033 recorded runs, 5 of them reached the stage of eyes being crafted. From there, 4 of those runs made it to the stronghold, but the average time between those two splits is 1 minute and 58 seconds. So basically, he either always gets a super close stronghold distance upon nether exit, or he scouts the seeds to know where to exit the nether. I'll let you be the judge. Anyways, once the mods started putting the puzzle pieces together, not only was he subsequently banned from the leaderboards, but from that point on, a new rule where all runs must start within 5 minutes of world generation was created. And with that, we've nearly approached the end. In fact, only one more run remains. That's right, we've reached Abdran, aka the only instance in this entire video of a trusted runner with verified top times completely faking a world record. Now, it's likely that if you haven't been in the Minecraft speedrun community since at least late 2020, you haven't heard of this, and there's a very good reason for that, which I will get into later. The run took place in the 1.9 to 1.15 category when many people were grinding for the first ever sub 20. Abdran's verified leaderboard time was 24:23, which was 5th place on August 20th, 2020, but in the following months he had gotten many 20xx and 21xx times which had yet to be verified. That brings me to November 18th when Abdran posted a time of 1946, which was not only the world record but the first ever sub 20, and breaking a huge barrier like that was a big deal. The immediate community reaction was excitement and praise toward Abdran's insane ability to get top times, but over the next few days, the truth began to unravel. First though, let's take a closer look at the run. Immediately you may notice that the footage is incredibly laggy. That was not out of the ordinary for Abdran, as his PC was awful, rather it just makes watching this run pretty painful, so I'll do a quick breakdown. He spawned next to a blacksmith house containing an iron pickaxe and 5 obsidian, and after getting tools, beds, a brewing stand, and killing the iron golem, he found a desert temple, got the TNT, looted the chest, and searched for a lava pool. A short time later, it was located and he was in the nether at 4:50. He spawned right next to a fortress, and after killing blazes for nearly 5 minutes, he was out of the nether at just under 10 minutes. Shortly afterward, he located a savannah village, used the TNT to blow up houses to get sticks, traded a bunch of sticks for emeralds, traded a bunch of emeralds for ender pearls, and he was off to the stronghold with an absolute shit ton of pearls at just over 15 minutes. It didn't take him too long to discover that the stronghold was close, and at 16:30 he started digging down. 45 seconds after entering it, he located the portal room and entered the end at 18 minutes. From there, he simply awaited the perch, and when it happened, he pearled down, one cycled the dragon, and finished the run with a final time of 1946. Seeing how this run was a pretty big deal, it didn't take the mods too long to start looking into it, and quickly they discovered a discrepancy. The world file was created a day before the session VOD. In other words, according to their findings, he did attempts on a known seed and spliced in his best run after the loading screen. What took place next is what separates this cheating scandal from someone like Flowbee's.
Hey people, if you don't know what's going on regarding to my last 1.14 RSG run, then it was confirmed by the mods team that it was indeed spliced. Yes, I'm gonna confirm that statement that it was indeed spliced, because I couldn't really do anything, to be honest. And I don't want to cover like a bitch, and I kind of have to address this. I have to take the bullet for a bullet of criticisms and just basically people venting out their disappointment to me, and to me that's cool. I did deserve it.
That's right, he actually admitted to cheating. Not long after this, he admitted to faking a 2051 in 1.14 and a 1733 in 1.16. Out of every cheating scandal in this iceberg, this one was easily handled the best, and I think that shows by the fact that you likely haven't even heard about it prior to this video. Anyways, that concludes this iceberg, and if you've made it this far, congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back. I spent a lot of time making this, and it wouldn't be possible without the mods, so I'd like to go ahead and thank Crystal, Salix4, and Crafter Dark for going out of their way to help me make this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe, and have a great day.